My name is Nick Benson. Doing another field report today. I was out looking at some experimental hybrids today, and I saw something that really concerned me that I wanted to touch on a little bit today. What I found out here in a few varieties that was pretty noteworthy was a disease called Physoderma node breakage. Not a very common disease. Actually, yesterday and today I started seeing it a little bit more. So did a quick Google search, try to figure out a little bit more about this Physoderma node breakage, and what came up but an article written in 2013. What happened in 2013? Well, very, very wet spring. Remember the prevent plant in 13? So very similar to this year. What you see is the nodes break. Usually that happens on the first, second, or third node up on the plant. If you don't pay attention and look real close, a guy can think it's just normal stalk rot. But if you look close, you'll actually see that the plant, here's another one out here. You know, the plant actually breaks clean off. Another thing that it can be confused with is green snap, which happens earlier in the season. And so we really got to pay attention to that to know what's going on out there. How Physoderma brown spot happens is it actually gets infected earlier in the season in the early vegetative growth. That's why it correlates with these prevent plant years. When we've had really wet May and June, when the plant's just starting to grow, actually in the whirl, when the whirls are full of water and it sits for an extended period of time, there are these things called zoospores that multiply rapidly and infect the plant. And then later on in the season, if conditions are right, which apparently it is a little bit this year, this Physoderma node breakage can happen. And so it's pretty easy to identify once you look and get out in the field and see it. Genetics can be a factor. That's why I'm glad this is an experimental plot to help screen for that. And then the reason I'm talking about it today is we got to pay attention, because if we are seeing Physoderma node breakage in the fields, some of them are still intact even with that, and so the story is harvest early. So we got to get out there, get after some of this corn that's experiencing some of this unique disease pressure. It has been really bad. In the 70s and 80s, there was actually a season where there was some severely infected fields with a wet year like this. And I have seen a little bit more this year, as well as other stalk rots and root rots. So pay attention. Good time of the year to get out there. Look at your fields here as we're getting super close to harvest. But anyway, that is a little bit of an agronomic update on Physoderma node breakage. So thanks for joining me. Nick Benson here with Federal Hybrids.